Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his Monday guest, Rylas Dana. How you doing, sir?
Amazing. Great to be here.
So you are on this channel for two different reasons. One, you are the resident attorney, my expert about probate, all of those good things. But you also come on the channel sometimes as an investor, and that's what today is going to be about. You have your buy box. You've been doing the work. People can look at your playlist and just watch the work that you've done. What I want to do, Rylas, here is celebrate a little. I saw a post in the last week where you got a deal. So I want to talk about the deal. I want to remind people of all the work and consistency you have been putting in. I want to remind people that you have a crazy day job and still found time to do the work. So let's celebrate Rylas and the deal that you got. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this community is a big part of it. So, doing the work, as you say, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I really found your channel, I think a couple of years ago, right when COVID started. I was like, all right, I want just financial news. That's all I care about. So this is perfect. This gives me everything I want to follow and nothing else. And really been so my trajectory, I think people know my day job is a probate attorney. And I don't want to wind back too far, but I started my own business and I got divorced.
Yeah.
So I'm not bankable is why that's relevant.
Yes, exactly.
So I don't have, I have a W-2, but it's for my own business. So a lot of times they look deeper and they're like, wait a minute, like we want to see all your, other things. And it's kind of frustrating for years. So I was digging out from a divorce and at least two, maybe 3 or 4 people worked for me and would get a mortgage like within weeks or months. And it's just kind of like salt in the wound. Like the bank's like, oh, thank you for employing all these people, but no, we don't want to loan you money.
Yeah, because you're the business owner. Yep.
I mean, but some Joe Schmo, this one guy came in to do our web stuff, and he was in the process of buying a house right then.
Wow.
He finished closing. Anyways, he was gone like a month later. But so yeah, not bankable in the traditional sense. And then COVID was tough on me as an employer. Right before that, I was stretched with offices and people, at a lot of people and a lot of locations.
Okay.
Which was not great.
Probably not good. Yeah.
So the nice thing though is I was able to restructure and have a little less shame in outsourcing to the Philippines for as much as I can.
Nice.
So again, kind of embracing all my real estate friends, like watching successful businesses, they work at it, right? They watch the numbers, they, get all the advantages they can and those things.
Yep.
So, big business reorganization, and then, saving up, down payment money, watching the channel, doing the work, realizing that, Uncle Mike, or Mike, the advisor, conservative deals, right? Should have like 20% down, no alligators. They got a cash flow. So my buy box was centered around financing a lot of the time, right? Like just, whatever the deal is, what is my payment going to be? And will it cash flow? Like after reserves, right? After keeping reserves and all those things. So my buy box, it's pretty much non-existent, right? Like I'd watch, things, 2 years ago, things would disappear as soon as they're in there. So it was hard to watch.
Yeah. So I know this, but for the audience, you are in the #1 market for 2 years in a row, which I'll just call Phoenix, Arizona. It's now the #2 market behind Tampa, but you've seen crazy appreciation, 30% a year for 2 years in a row. You've seen wicked demand. You have iBuyers, you have hedge funds. You were fishing in a market that was highly sought after.
Yeah. So,
all right. So you kept at it though. You didn't give up. You never, what I sensed is you never stopped. Even after years, you never stopped.
Right. And at that time, it was more watching and learning. because you got to know what a good deal is, what a great deal is. And I've been seeing this shift from there was no open houses, for that period of time. It was just like, hey, put your name on a list and we'll let you buy it type of a thing.
Yeah. How much do you want to overpay? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And everyone was, people, getting properties were waiving everything and, overpaying. And I just can't do that as a buyer. I just can't. So no way.
I can't either. No, I would never do that.
But the shift, right? So it's kind of slowly happening. So now, open houses have been happening for a little bit, inventory is creeping up a little bit more.
Yeah. I talked to Cody yesterday. You and I both know Cody. He talked about inventory going from roughly 5,000. I think it was 4,700 to 11,000. So yeah, it's doubled Phoenix wide. So this is all happening. It feels sudden, but a guy like you has been looking every day. You saw it move every day. So I'm just so proud of you for doing all this.
Yeah, great video with Cody. I watched that the other day. And again, this channel is a big part of it. It helps watch, right? Because I know what I'm seeing. And then guys like Cody are obviously in a much higher level.
Yeah, bigger deal flow. And if they're seeing it too, yeah, exactly.
So I tuned into your channel and then also kind of Pace's network, the wholesale hotline.
Totally.
So you have Pace, you have Jamil Damji, who's doing, tons of deals every month.
Yeah,
and Drake Daniels.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice to see like what people that are actually in the market are doing. I don't care about this theory and other things. I want to know what's happening right now.
Yeah. Yeah. From people looking every day. I totally agree. There, YouTube's an interesting world because you just need a camera and a story. I want to know people that are in the work, putting real capital to work, making real decisions versus somebody who can play with a chart and lives in his mom's basement. So yeah, Pace, Jamil, Brent, all great guys, Cody, yourself. So tell us about the deal you finally got. So tell it, you made, where'd you find it? And let's start there. Where'd you find this opportunity? That
I'm gonna one more detail before I get there. I'm gonna string you along a little bit more. So the first I started seeing some price drops. Right? I started seeing like more things back on the market.
Okay.
And I like how you've been saying you're not looking at things unless they're 30 days or 15. And that's kind of always been my theory because it's like I don't want to bother, brand new things. I'll see what's still there.
Okay.
In another 15, 30 days.
Nice.
So I started looking as I seen drops. And this is probably maybe 6 months ago or 5-6 months ago.
Okay.
It was kind of the very beginning, but people weren't that motivated yet.
Yeah. Housing is it's very sticky on the way down. It takes time for it to unfold and for opinions to change. Yeah.
Yeah. Although people like, the last couple of years leading up, it seemed like people would list for what seemed like a ridiculous price, and then they would get it.
Yeah, very different on the
eventually
upside.
They get it, and then that becomes the comps. But anyways, I see some drops. I try to make some offers, weren't getting accepted, and then a couple months ago, I was able to get an offer accepted, but the financing, the interest rates are too high.
Okay.
They'd raised like 1.5 in that month.
Yeah.
So then it didn't pencil out with with all the entry fees.
Yeah.
So
the cost of capital went up, which affects your expense equation, which affects your yield, and it could take a good deal to a bad deal. Absolutely.
So here's what I found. So on Facebook, I see a post from a wholesaler.
Okay.
House in Mesa. Said lease option or seller financing.
Ooh, okay. Antenna up.
Yeah, I was like, bing, bing, bing.
Okay.
And this is a guy in town. His name is Brandon Simmons. And
I've heard that name. Okay.
Yeah. And I'd heard of the name too, from Pace and several other people. So he's kind of he knows a lot of people in the community. He's someone I wanted to meet. So
there you go.
I reached out right when I saw it. I looked up on the internet, tried to find like his phone number. I was texting him. I was like, "Hey, I'm all about that one."
Okay.
And
so it's a house.
It's a townhouse.
Okay, it's a townhouse. All right.
And so I went out and saw it.
Mhm.
So he had an option contract. So it'd been sitting on the MLS a little bit.
Mhm.
And she wanted to get her a price. And I guess he went to her with an option contract.
Okay.
And so I was telling him, like, hey, the lease option, I would do that if she'll, but I'm more interested in the seller financing. I'm more
Right.
interested in purchasing it.
Correct.
So if she's not ready to sell right now,
Mhm.
but she wants to sell later, like I could do a lease option and then
Convert.
convert later.
Okay.
And he I guess he went back to her, and at first she wasn't interested in seller financing
Mhm.
because she wanted the 1031 is what he told me.
Got it. Okay. All right.
Because she's got some gains. There's no mortgage on the property. It's been an investment for her for a while. She's
Okay.
actually a realtor and a broker.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well.
So she knows the industry.
Mhm.
And then I started asking questions like, why, what is she 1031ing into? Has she found something already?
Yeah. Good job.
Why is she selling? Like, I get it just to lock in the prices, but if she's going to go be a landlord somewhere else, like,
Yeah.
you still have to do some work to 1031, right? You
Oh,
gotta,
yeah. And you have a clock and you have some time pressure. You sell at the high, but you're also buying at the high. It's not always the right option.
So I was able to talk to her directly.
Okay.
And what I told her was like, hey, like if your 1031 is a way where you're going to your next property, but if you're ready to be done and not be a landlord, you could be the bank instead. So you can guarantee payments for you and your family. And instead of holding a property, you'll be the owner of a property and dealing with tenants and broken toilets. You just become the bank.
Exactly. Yeah. Delay. And she's delaying her. 1031 allows you to move the tax bases on. You delay. Selling on a installment loan, which is likely what she did. She's only going to pay taxes on what she receives, which will be at a much lower rate given the graduated scale of taxes. All of this stuff's in my course. We had a CPA, Bob Langworthy, document it. So far, this is great. Awesome.
Yeah. So she so basically I said, well, let me know, like, what do you want to receive now? Like, are you looking for cash now, or are you looking for, investment or security later?
Right. Okay.
And I told her, like, as far as payment, I need to be, right in the beginning, I said, like, my payment, can't be any higher than 1,500.
Yep.
Because I need to be able to cash flow.
Exactly. Yeah.
And my, quick math there, rent's probably 2,200.
Okay.
But taxes, insurance, there is an HOA, and then like a 10% reserve puts me right at that 2,200.
Okay.
So that was kind of my mark. So like, if I can get it for, if my payment's right at that, like where I can just hold it forever type of a thing, then that's what I'm looking for.
Okay. All right.
And then I was like, payments, I was like, the amount you're getting, you're going to have, someone's going to be return of your original principal. So I think her basis was about 200.
Okay.
And the property is worth about 400.
Okay.
So it's like, you're gonna have some return of principal and then some gain in there.
Correct.
And if we have interest on there, that's also going to be a different number. You're going to pay the highest taxes on that interest.
Correct.
So I said, I can work with you. I'm like, I just care what the payment is, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you want to do it?
We can move all these numbers around. Just what do you want? Yeah.
Yeah. So what we came up with is, at first I said, 1,200 was the payment I wanted, but very early I said 1,500, just kind of see where she's at.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, I came up with 1,200 for 30 months, 0%.
Okay. So all principal. Yep.
All principal.
Okay.
Which is like 430. 432,000 is what it works out to.
Okay.
And then I was going to pay 40,000 down.
Got it. Okay.
So instead of paying interest, I'm kind of
overpaying. You said 30 months. You meant 30 years.
30 years. Yeah. 30 years. Yeah. 30 months would be,
yeah. I was like, that's a hell of a balloon payment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I want to repeat that because I think I heard it wrong. So you were saying 1,200 a month, principal only, 0% interest for 30 years.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay,
360. payments.
Correct. 360 payments, 360 months. Okay. I'm with you. I must've heard that wrong. Okay, cool. And 40K down.
Yeah. So purchase price is like 472.
Yeah.
When, actual price, she had it listed for a while for 430 and it wasn't selling. There's some other ones in there for like 415. So actual price is probably 410, somewhere around there.
Sure.
So
sure. Okay.
And then she came back and said, okay, I'd rather get 1,500 a month instead of 1,200. I'd rather have 1,500.
Okay.
I said, okay, we can do that, but instead of 30 years, it'll be 24 years.
Exactly where I'm hoping you were going. Yes.
Yeah.
That is working the numbers to your benefit. So you're still roughly the same total price. You're still 0% interest. You still do 40K down, or did you lower that as well?
Still did 40K down.
Okay. So she was anchored on that as well. Okay. That is cool. So 40K down, $1,500 for 24 years, 0% interest.
Yeah.
Genius.
So right after she signed everything, literally right after, she talked to her kids in CPA.
Yeah.
And her kids were like, why'd you do 0%? And her CPA was like, you're going to have some depreciation recapture.
Sure.
And I guess California, she lives in California.
Okay.
So I guess they're going to tax her on the gains as well. So, so she was a little deflated, and I was a little concerned. Like, she had literally signed everything though.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be a jerk. And
yeah, of course. You're a good person.
I wanted her to feel good about it. And some of the things that we hadn't kind of like finalized. So what I did, I used a transaction coordinator, Rochelle Jarvis, Constant Close. Just she has a company, did all the paperwork.
Nice.
So once we kind of had the terms with the seller, I got Rochelle involved, and she drew up like a purchase contract type of a thing.
Nice.
And then she signed that first. And then we used a servicing company, which we're still finishing setting up all those things. And your audience probably knows what a servicing company is, don't they? So it's going to be a company where
you mail the payments.
Yeah. So they coordinate the payments and all of that. But in their paperwork, there's a question about foreclosure.
Okay.
So we got to finish up that portion. But I told her I would sign something. I would agree that if I'm late, we can do a deed in lieu of foreclosure instead of making her go through the formal process.
Yeah. Yeah. Because again, what you're basically saying there, because she's the bank, she would have her only regress to get the property back is a foreclosure, which takes time. Versus if she was a landlord, she just has an eviction, which is time, but much, much shorter.
Correct. So making that process easier for her.
Correct.
So if I didn't perform, she'd have a way to
get out quicker.
Yeah, to easily get out.
Awesome.
So, and then she also wants a prepayment penalty.
That is, which again makes total sense. It means nothing to you because you're not going to refi a 0% loan. You're like, I'll make the prepayment penalty $50,000. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Whatever you want.
I'm like, I'm holding that forever. So
0%, not selling.
Yeah. So yeah, really excited. It's so nice. So many people say no, right? I've been looking for these seller finance deals for a while, and so many people tell you, oh, they don't exist. You can't do it.
Keep trying. Just keep going.
If this audience isn't watching Pace's Sunday service, he had a good one last night. He was talking about he's calling people salty that don't believe you can do like subject finance or subject to deals or seller finance deals.
Yeah, I'm starting to call them soft. You just don't want to do the work. I got a bunch of people on my channel here recently talking about the market's not crashing in their little spot. I'm like, dude, you're soft. Yeah, it's just started. Do the work. 90% of you are seeing it. You're doing the work every day. I'm so proud of you. Like you do the work. You don't complain. 10% of you do the work for 7 seconds and then you want to complain. It's just stop it. Go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I've been loving your channel lately, how you're admitting there's a crash and each deal is a better deal.
Yes, every deal going forward needs to be, because again, I've been through this. I got 20 some odd year experience. When in a crash, you and I both don't know where the bottom is. So make every deal you do better than the last one. It's the only strategy you have. I don't have endless capital. So I'm just going to make every deal better than the one I did before. It's the only way to go.
Yeah, so this is really exciting for me. This is my first seller finance deal. You know, it proves it. You know, I've seen my friends do it. A lot of other people do it. I know it's a real thing, but
Proof of concept. That's awesome.
But now it proves it. And I'm looking to do better deals now, find even better deals, and and they're out there. I'm seeing them pop up more. Where on Zillow they say seller finance.
Yeah,
So
the next 2 years is going to be amazing, folks. Do the work, get a buy box, daily discipline. I think the next 2 years will be much better than the last 2 years. If you want to do the work for 7 seconds and then complain, I'm not your guy. If you want to be like Rylas and put in a year of effort, watch the market go from nothing to something. Come along. The ride's going to be a lot of fun. Rylas, where can people reach out to you or follow you?
RylasDana.com. You can find my law firm websites, my social medias, and the playlist to this link, or the link to this playlist.
Awesome, buddy. Thank you very much. I'm so happy for you. Yeah, I saw that post. I'm like, I know what Monday's topic is.
Yeah. Thank you. In this community, it's awesome. It's so nice that there's a community around people that know this is possible, and it kind of helps. It's fun. It feels like we're in the trenches together. So it's really nice.
Yeah. The thing I like about it is everybody's happy. They're moving together. They're posting wins, asking questions. Everyone I've seen so far, knock on wood, is positive and willing to do the work. So the people that are in, and I love it. So it's so much fun to watch from afar. So Rylas, congratulations.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.